Hello friends, welcome to Econ Show. In this video, we will be discussing question number 41 to question number 50. So let's start our discussion. Question number 41 says, consider the following statements. Statement 1 says, agricultural soil releases nitrogen oxide into the environment. Agricultural soil releases nitrogen oxide into the environment. It's absolutely right. Actually, agricultural soil releases the oxides of the nitrogen into the environment or the atmosphere while in the cultivation process. Like because of the cultivation of various like rice, wheat, pulses, it releases the nitrogen oxides into the environment. That's it's right. Second statement says cattle release ammonia into the environment. This statement is also right because cattle releases ammonia into the environment and cattle are rising in the world, so ammonia concentration in the atmosphere is also rising. They releases the ammonia through their excretion process, so the statement 2 is also rise. Let's go to statement 3. Poultry industry releases reactive nitrogen compounds into the environment. Again, it's also right. Poultry means hens, chickens, ducks. So these all are like the part of the poultry industry, and they also releases the reactive nitrogen compounds into the atmosphere. So all the three statements are right. So here the statement D is right. That is option number 4. Let's go to question number 42. What is the common to the place known as Aliar, Isapur and Kangsbati? See, all these, the three locations that are being discussed here, they are actually the places where the water problem was seen. Aliapur, Aliar is actually the town in the Tamil Nadu. Isapur is a town in the Maharashtra, and Kangsbati is a town in the West Bengal. All these had actually the problem of the water, and where the water level has reached very below from the normal capacity. So these are actually the water reservoirs which are being there in these particular cities mentioned in the question. Question number 43. In the context of the proposal to the use of the hydrogen enriched CNG, that is HCNG, as fuel for buses in public transport, consider the following statement. So we have to see hydrogen based CNG. The main advantage of the use of the hydrogen CNG is the elimination of the carbon monoxide emission. See, here is the very strong statement. It talks about the elimination. Actually, the hydrogen CNG reduces the carbon monoxide emission, but it does not eliminate. So, statement 1 is wrong actually. It does not eliminate such CO emission, but it definitely reduces the carbon monoxide emission. Second statement said hydrogen CNG as a fuel reduces carbon dioxide and hydrocarbon emission. So this statement is right because it actually reduces the carbon dioxide and hydrocarbon emission into the atmosphere, because hydrogen CNG is a cleaner fuel with reference to normal CNG. Third statement, so statement 2 is right. Third statement is hydrogen up to 1/5 by volume can be blended with the CNG as a fuel for buses. This statement is right. About 18% hydrogen is blended with CNG, which is like more or less about 1/5. That is about 20%. So that is about 20%. So it is actually used as a blended part with the CNG, and that can be used in the buses for the public transport. And actually, it's actually a cleaner fuel than the normal CNG. Fourth statement is HCNG make the fuel less expensive than CNG. It is actually right because it is more economical and it has a better efficiency. So it is better efficiency. So with the same amount of HCNG, you can actually be more safer and economical, because less expenditure will be required for the clean air and everything. So it's actually good. So here we can see the statement 2 and 3 right. Let's go to question number 44. Why are dewdrops not formed on a cloudy night? Why dewdrops do not form in the cloudy night? Because dews is a type of a precipitation where water droplets on the ground or an object near the ground in a process called condensation of moisture. So actually there are certain conditions which are required for the formation of dews. First of all, that night should be very clear. That there should be clear night. It means there should not be any clouds. and there has to be decent or very low wind movement and a decent soil moisture. So moisture in the soil should be there. And what happens when we have a cloudy night? Under the cloudy night, what happens actually? During the daytime, when your earth gets heated properly, during the night time, when the radiation that the earth emits gets trapped by these clouds then trap these radiation. And when these clouds trap these radiations, actually they prevent these radiations to go to the space, and hence it actually warms the atmosphere. When it warms the atmosphere, so proper amount of coolness in the atmosphere is not achieved, and that cold atmosphere is needed for the formation of dew when the temperature rises to the dew point. Hence the dew point temperature is not reached because of the presence of higher temperature, because clouds have prevented the movement of radiated like waves from the earth's surface. Hence the dews are not formed under the cloudy night. So let's check which one of those could be the answer. Cloud absorb the radiation released from the earth's surface. Cloud absorb the radiation released from the earth's surface. No, actually it reflects back to the surface. Cloud actually reflects back the absorption to the earth's surface, and hence warms the earth's surface and earth atmosphere. Hence this could not be the answer. The cloud reflects back the earth radiation. This is right, because when they reflect back the earth radiation, it actually warms the atmosphere, and hence the temperature is not reduced, which is critical for the formation of dews. Hence the statement B is right. The earth's surface would have low temperature on cloudy nights. This is not right statement. And cloud deflect the blowing winds to the ground level. This is again not right answer. For the formation of dew, one must have clear night and clear weather, very little movement of air, and also sufficient amount of the soil moisture, so that the dew formation could take place. Let's go to question number 45. The 45th question says, the 44th amendment to the Constitution of India introduced an article placing the election of the Prime Minister beyond judicial review. This statement is not right. Actually, this statement is wrong, because 44th Amendment Act was introduced in the year 1978, which was introduced by Janta Party government to actually go back to the many changes which was introduced by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, introduced by SMT Indira Gandhi in the year 1976. However, this to place the election of the president, prime minister, and vice president, and the speaker of the Lok Sabha, that Parliament passed the 39th Amendment Act. Parliament passed 39th Amendment Act. Actually, this Amendment Act actually prevented the election of the Prime Minister beyond judicial review. So statement 1 is not right. Second statement is, Supreme Court of India struck down 99th Amendment to the Constitution of India as being the violation of the independence of judiciary. This statement is right, because 99th Amendment Act relates to the National Judicial Appointment Commission, and it was struck down by the court, saying that it violates the basic feature of the Constitution, that is the separation of power. That is, judiciary must be separated from the executive's interferences. So statement 2 is actually right. So we can say option number B is right answer. Now we go to question number 46. Consider the following statement. The motion to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court of India cannot be rejected by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha as per the Judges Act 1968. This statement is not right. It may be accepted or it may be rejected by the Speaker. It's the prerogative of a Speaker to decide whether to accept the motion of impeachment of judge of the Supreme Court of India or not. So it's not that he has to accept or he cannot accept. It's the prerogative of the Speaker to decide, or the chairman in case of the Rajya Sabha to decide whether to proceed forward with the motion of impeachment or not. So statement 1 is wrong. The statement 2 says, the Constitution of India defines and gives details of what constitutes incapacity and proved misbehavior of the judges of the Supreme Court of India. The Constitution of India defines. Actually, in Indian Constitution has nowhere defined what is incapacity and proved misbehavior. What Indian Constitution has said, that in case of the motion of the impeachment has been moved, that speaker shall appoint a committee that is headed by the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, Chief Justice of High Court, and a distinguished jurist. These committee will actually investigate the matter and will find and submit the report whether the acts of the judges which was concerned for the motion of impeachment is liable to be impeached under the category of incapacity or proved misbehavior. But it is not defined anywhere in the constitution, so this statement is not right, this statement is wrong. Let's go to statement 3. The details of the process of the impeachment of the judges of the Supreme Court of India are given in the Judges Inquiry Act of 1968. So here we can say that the following statement is actually right, because it has been details of the process of impeachment has been mentioned in the Judges Inquiry Act of 1968. It has been mentioned in the Judges Inquiry Act of 1968. That is right. And option number 4 is, if a motion for the impeachment of a judge is taken up for the voting, the law requires the motion to be backed by each house of the parliament and supported by the majority of total membership of that house, and by not less than 2/3 of the total member of that house present and voting. That is absolutely right, because it is to have a special majority before it is being passed by the both the house and being presented to the president. Before president signs it, it has to be passed by both the house of the parliament having a special majority, that is total strength of that house plus 2/3 present and voting in favor of ayes. Then the motion shall be accepted, and that bill shall be passed, that impeachment motion shall be will be presented to the president for its assent, and hence the process will conclude. So hence statement 3 and 4 are right. Question number 47. The ninth schedule was introduced in the Constitution of India during the Prime Ministership. Ninth schedule was introduced in the year 1951, when the land reform laws were being passed by the legislature, and in order to protect those laws from being challenged in the judiciary, the Jawaharlal Nehru cabinet has actually passed an amendment to introduce the ninth schedule in the Indian Constitution, and hence that Jawaharlal Nehru should be said as the bringer of the ninth schedule to the Indian Constitution, because originally Indian Constitution has only 8 schedule only. So Jawaharlal Nehru is the answer for that. Now let's go to question number 48. Consider the following statement. Coal sector was nationalized by the government of India under Indira Gandhi. This statement is absolutely right, because coal sector was nationalized by Indira Gandhi in the year 1972. Indira Gandhi in 1972 has nationalized the coal in the India. So statement 1 is right. So we can delete option this. Now the coal blocks are allocated on the lottery basis. No, they are not allocated on the basis of the lottery. They are allocated on the basis of the auction. So auction is the basis for the allocation of the coal blocks. And third statement is, still recently India imported coal to meet the shortage of the domestic supply, but now India is self-sufficient in coal production. This statement is not right, because still India is importing a lot of coal to meet its domestic needs. Indian firms and Indian companies which are there in the coal production are not producing that much coal which is required for the domestic consumption. Hence we import coal. Even today we import coal to meet our domestic requirement. Hence they both are not right, so only we can say that statement A, or that option 1 is right. Consider the following statement. The Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1959 exempts several posts from disqualification on the grounds of office of profit. So this statement is actually right, because our Parliament Act of 1959 exempts certain office from the disqualification from the office of profit. These are like there are certain posts which are like exempted, like the Minister of State and Deputy Minister, or like Vice Chancellor of universities, or like deputy chiefs in the Parliament. So these are the posts which are actually exempted from the office of the profit. So statement 1 is actually right. Then we move to statement 2. The above mentioned act was amended 5 times. This is right, actually it was amended 5 times. The first amendment took place in the year 1960, then in 1992, then in 1993, in 2006, and in 2013. Last time it was amended was in 2013. Till then it was not amended. So in totality the amendment has taken place for the 5 time. Now for the third statement, the term office of profit is well defined in the Constitution of India. Is well defined. No sir, office of profit is not well defined in the Constitution of India. It has been not clearly said like what constitute the office of profit. However, various Supreme Court judgments over a period of time have actually clarified what constitutes the office of profit and what are the potential issues that could come when one takes a post as a office of profit or not. So effectively, the answer to this question should be statement 1 and 2, that is option A. Now let's go to question 50. Under which schedule of the Constitution of India can the transfer of tribal land to private parties for mining be declared null and void? So under which schedule of the Constitution of India can the transfer of tribal land to private parties for the mining be declared null and void? It is actually under the 5th schedule of the Indian Constitution. 5th schedule deals with the administration and the control of the scheduled areas and the tribal areas. So it's a pretty straightforward question. 5th schedule areas are there in India. There are many various states where 5th schedule areas are there, and the government has to form the tribal advisory council for the look after for to look after for the better welfare and the betterment of these people and for their holistic development. Thank you. This is up to 50 question for this video. I hope you liked it, and kindly do like and share it. Thank you.